Do you want to get brand deals or sponsorships for your live stream shows? Well, it's entirely possible. In fact, it's right at your fingertips. I myself have been getting paid brand deals and sponsorships on my live streams, but also on my regularly uploaded videos ever since I was a small YouTuber. And I'm going to share with you my 3-step method for attracting brands. And I'm going to show that to you today so that you can make so much money with video creation that you're like Scrooge McDuck jumping into a money bin where, amazingly enough, he didn't break his fingers every single time. We have a great show for you today. I'm really glad you're here. Stick around. It's Stream Like You Mean It.
Owen Video!
Welcome back to Stream Like You Mean It with me, Owen Video, helping you, the content creator and entrepreneur, create more effective, more engaging live stream shows. We're live every Monday at noon PST. That's 3 p.m. if you're on the East Coast. And you can give me an Air 5. That's right. Type 5 in the comment section below. That's how we say hello. And we're broadcasting today on multiple channels, thanks to our fantastic sponsor over at Restream.io, the best live streaming software that you're ever gonna need. And we want to welcome our studio audience watching us on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and even more. My question for you today is this: do you believe that you can get sponsors for your live stream show? I mean, do you actually believe it? That's the question that I have for you today, because I think a lot of us want it to happen, but do you actually think that it can happen for you? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the chat area below, and I'm going to read some of those comments as we kind of get started today, because here's what I found. If you're an entrepreneur, a business owner, and you've got a business that you're running, I feel like, oh, my goal should be to get customers, not sponsors, when combining the two can really be so beneficial to your company. In fact, many of your customers today could sponsor your show tomorrow and vice versa. In fact, that's happened a lot for me. Or maybe you think I'm too small. How many of you guys think that not enough people watch? Okay. I'm going to share with you today why that's a fallacy, why actually smaller channels have a better chance of getting sponsored. And I think you're really going to love the topics that we dive into today. So take a moment and tell me in the comment section, do you believe that you can get sponsors for your live stream show? And while we're doing that, I want to give a big shout out to our sponsors over at Restream.io for their fantastic live stream studio that allows us to broadcast on multiple channels, but also to share our screens, have guest interviews, use sound effects, and so many other great features. If you don't have Restream yet, you need to. With Restream.io, you can broadcast your message on multiple social media platforms at the same time. And with the new Restream Studio, you can go live with custom branded graphics, a chat room that pulls all your conversations into one place, and many more features. So get started today on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and more. Just visit owenvideo.com/restream to get your free trial today. That's right, guys. Go to owenvideo.com/restream to get your free trial. And when you do, let me know about it, right? I'd love to help you along with the process and really make it an enjoyable experience for you. So I want to welcome those of you watching us on YouTube and all across the web. Want to say what's up to You Do It, who is watching us today. Want to say, give a big air 5 to the Squawking Dead. Whoop! So good to see you. And we've got some friends over here, Andre and Andrea, and they say, yes, I believe that I can get sponsors for my channel. And the same with Jonathan Harvey, who is saying, yes, I do think that I can get sponsors for my channel. I love the positivity here. My man, Lead with Jim, is here today, and that's fantastic. And it's stop. Chris Strub is here, ladies and gentlemen. Look, I don't do this often, But if there's someone you should be following, it's Chris Strub. And Carlos, who is my producer for the show, Carlos, I think we need to have a who to follow segment on this show. Chris Strub is a guy I've known for a long time and doing fantastic work and just a rising tide in the field. Chris, great to see you here today. And I hope to see your channel really get sponsored because you've got some great stuff here. Charlotte Ann Moore is saying, absolutely, I could get sponsored, but a startup? Yes. The smaller you are, the better you are. I think not the better, the better prepared, like the more greased your wheels are, I think is going to be good for you. Jay, my man, Jay Houselander, who is a member of FWUP, the Video Marketing School, my private group training program, says, I think I'm too small. 3 groups I talked to wanted so much for me to do just at 10% of their products for us to promote. Your thoughts? I think that there are some times you got to take a hit. And I think it's now, right? I think it's now in the beginning that you really should sort of like work on taking a hit on how much you make. But you should never, ever do a live stream show. You should never do a sponsorship only for the affiliate fee. Okay. So the whole idea is they pay you and then you promote their stuff with your affiliate link. So it's the best of both worlds. I think that you really need to keep that in command. Otherwise, you're going to end up, working for free. Want to say what's up to Reagan V Films. Want to say what's up to Christer Bovin logging in from Dutch, right? The Dutchlands. Amsterdam, I think, Chris, is where you are. We've got Life of Anubadan. Love to see you here. Bradley Teachers and Mike B, who is saying you've got 2 minutes to explain before I have to go to bed. Hey, I'm sorry that we got just so late into the game, but stick around because we've got a really great show for you today. And I want to dig in by talking about a couple different points. Now, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go through a couple different points today, and I want you to feel free to ask some questions, right? I want you to feel free to sort of ask questions as they come up, and we'll take a break every now and then to answer your questions. I want this show to be about you so that you can get the answers you need, because I know there's some of you out there that have big channels, and your approach is going to be different. But I know some of you out there are brand new, and I want your approach is going to be different. So I want everyone to take the approach that's right for them. But I also want to explain some things as we go so that we sort of all understand what we're doing here. So let's go ahead and get set up here. I have to take the, maybe we could, is Karen Carr logging in? Everybody, Karen Carr, logging in, who says studio is looking fire. Working on some new lights. By the way, that light back there, Karen, is the light you recommended, my friend. So always wonderful to see that. I'm going to keep the chat on screen today. I think it looks pretty good. So we're going to talk about sponsorship and what is a sponsorship. You may have also heard the term brand deal, okay? And these two things sort of mean the same thing, okay? So a sponsorship or a brand deal is when a company pays you to create video for them that promotes their services or products, okay? So it's anytime you're creating content and someone else is paying you for it. Now, that is different than affiliate programs, because in an affiliate program, you are getting paid to sell, right? You only get paid when things sell. But here's what needs to happen. You need to be in a place where you're not going to sell anything that unless the brand has already paid you a stipend to do so. Okay. So think of it kind of like going into Disneyland. You can't go to Disneyland and buy a corn dog. You have to buy a ticket to Disneyland, which then gives you the right to buy a corn dog later once you get in. Okay. So the brand needs to pay you up front in order to even open the doorway for you to promote their products and services. That doesn't mean that you can't do affiliate marketing. You should do affiliate marketing. In fact, affiliate marketing is sort of a great way to break into the live streaming realm. And I want to explain something really quick called a fake sponsor. Okay, so what's a fake sponsor? A fake sponsor is like an affiliate deal. I want you guys to write this down if you're taking notes. A fake sponsor is affiliate marketing. So let's say that you got a small live stream show and you're live once a week, whatever. You want to be in a place where you are saying this show is brought to you by X. And maybe it's your own company. By the way, those of you with companies and businesses, you should be your own sponsor for some of your videos. Let's say the first video of the month, your company always sponsors. So what that would look like is, hey, today's show is brought to you by the Video Marketing School, where you can get access to over 100 hours of video marketing training, plus monthly coaching calls and a private Facebook forum to engage with other members. Go to xyz.com today to enroll. And then what happens is I'm seeing lots of great comments come in. What happens is now you have an example of what a sponsor sounds like. So as you're pursuing real sponsors and they say, can you give me an example of a show that's had a sponsor? You can show them an example and they get a sense of how their show will be represented. Now, for those of you guys that know what affiliate marketing, how many of you guys know what affiliate marketing is? Do you guys know what that is? Okay. James Pruitt, good to see you, by the way, James, is saying, I put together a 30-second trailer promoting an affiliate product that I use as part of my stream. I love it. So how many of you guys know what affiliate marketing is? So affiliate marketing is when you promote someone else's software. Let's just say a software, but it also Amazon. You can promote Amazon affiliates. Anybody can be like an Amazon associate, and you get a private sort of back end on Amazon. And every time you go search on Amazon, it gives you a special link, and you can share that link. And whenever somebody buys from it, you get 4% of the sale. You get more as time goes on, but it's really a volume thing. But it's called affiliate marketing. So like, for example, I'm an affiliate for TubeBuddy, and I love TubeBuddy. I highly recommend TubeBuddy. Whenever I give someone my TubeBuddy link and they buy it, then I get a commission every single month off of that membership. So what you could do is, if you don't have your own company, like I don't know if like Lily Tree, I know, has her own company. Heather Michelle, good to see you. Expert Man, good to see you. Let's say Expert Man. Expert Man, do you have a company or is it your channel alone? Let's say you have no company and you're a content creator. Well, then you could promote someone else's software. Say, hey, this live stream today is brought to you by XYZ Email Marketing, where email marketing is made easy. Go get your free trial today. And you put your link in the description box. And so when they click it, you get a commission. So what it sounds like you have a sponsor, and it sounds really good. Doesn't it sound really good? But you also now have these videos that you can send to potential sponsors when you're ready to go actually, oh, I want to hear, like, what does it sound like to have a sponsor? You send them this part of thing. Okay. So that's what a sponsorship is, a fake sponsor, a brand deal. I want you guys to be really aware of all of these things. Now, a sponsorship can look a lot of different ways. What you're looking at right now, I think I need to go full screen probably on this one. Yeah, let me go full. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, this is a great image, Carlos. We got to use that more. But look at this image here. Okay, so what we're doing here is, this is a look at how you can do sponsored streams. There's no hard and fast rule, but what we do, okay, is a variety of different things. Number one is this show is brought to you by Restream. They're a sponsor for this show. So what we do is we put the name, and by the way, Stream Like You Mean It is something that's unique to my relationship with them. So we've created our own product together because we both wanted to work together. Restream wanted to work with me and I wanted to work with them. So we put together our own show with my logo on it, right? We've got my name here, but we've got their logo on it too. And this is one simple way that you could be representing your sponsorship on video, is by simply, including the logo in an overlay, or something like it. Okay. Now, on top of that, you could be doing shout outs, right? It doesn't have to be one hard and fast. We're like, this is the way that we do it, right? You could charge a very small amount of money and give them a shout out at the beginning. But you could also charge them the same amount of money and give them a shout out at the beginning and a shout out at the end. Or you could charge them more money, right? Where you give them a shout out in the beginning and then maybe like a full 30-second commercial in the middle. And this is what I recommend, actually. I recommend that you make like a 30-second sort of like promo for them. And then you add that, because then you can charge for the video creation, see? And then they can use that video elsewhere. And since you're already a video creator, right, it's using your natural talents to further your income. And that's what I want to see from you guys. No, it's a good idea. It is. Can you guys hear the sound effects? Were you able to hear them? Okay. Let's see. I'll play one more for you.
Listen to me.
I still have nightmares when I hear her voice. For those of you that don't know, that's my Judge Judy sound effect. And I got my career started from Judge Judy. I see a lot of you guys are using Restream, and that makes me so happy. It's a phenomenal software. And I'd love to hear from you in the comment section. What do you love most about the Restream software? So let me know in the comment section. Yeah, sound effects are really great. What's one of the reasons I love Restream is that it allows you to play sound effects. We of course add them our own way. And if that's something you guys want to hear about, let me know in the comment section. Anytime there's a topic you want me to go deeper on, expand on, because we want to make our content strategy for this show based on your needs and what you guys want to hear. So let's kind of come back to a couple different key points. So we've talked about what a sponsorship is and the different sort of ways that you can do sponsorships. Let me let you in on a big secret here, that brands have no idea how to work with live streamers or YouTubers. They really don't. Now, the big brands do, okay? But you're never going to get through to them. And I'm going to come back to that in a second. You need to pick potential sponsors with precision's the wrong word, because it's more like a spray gun. You need to pick them with a spray gun, but you need to have your site sort of set on a group of companies that all sort of fit the right profile for you. If you try to go after big companies, they're going to ignore you. But when you go after the right companies, smaller companies under $5 million, okay, and even real estate brokers, like local companies, because real estate brokers are going to be hundreds of millions. But keep in mind, that's all sort of like inflated because it's all based on loan amounts and house values. So you want to ignore their volume, but instead look at, they're a local company, right? You could have a real estate agent or a real estate broker sponsor your live streams, but they don't know how to do it. And that gives you an opportunity to guide them through this process, to lead the way. Okay. This is not an opportunity for you to take advantage of them, but an opportunity for you to open up video marketing to them in a way that makes sense, fits within their budget, and of course, puts money in your pocket and sort of like establishes you as a big leader, in the space. And so I want you to really focus on building like knowing that if you go through the right companies, you're almost always going to get a call. Like you'll always get like a 30-minute Zoom to talk about it. You may not always get the deal, okay? Because when something's new, there's a fear factor to it. So go into it knowing that you're guiding them through the process. But if you just talk to 10 people, you're going to get a couple deals from it, even if they're small deals. I've been talking with Jay Hauslander, who is actively working on brand deals right now. And he's been sort of like emailing me back and forth. And by the way, if you want to email me back and forth, then go to thevideomarketingschool.com and join the program, because when you do, you get access to me and you can ask me stuff in our group and on our group calls and stuff like that. But Jay's been asking me stuff and I write him back and I told him, like, he's got this deal in front of him. And I said, you know what, man, just go for it. Just sign the deal. Let's get it. And then and then you know, sort of develop it as we go, right? So I'm excited to see him walk along on that path. I want you to think about this key point here, is that video production is very expensive for companies to do. So if I'm a local restaurant, what type of channel do you have? Tell me in the comment section. I want to see these pop up. What type of channel do you have? Let me know in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you because, okay, Jay, you've got a great point here about they requested too much for nothing. That's okay. That was a no today, but it's not a no tomorrow. So we want to kind of like now work on emailing them and like staying in touch with them and moving things forward. Okay, so I'm loving to see these gaming channels and graphic tutorials. Awesome. I love it. CryCut. Good stuff. Okay, so I want you to think about this. If you're a local restaurant, let's say you got a food channel, or even if you're like a GameStop or a gaming store, or even like a Games and More. There's a franchise out here called Bricks and Minifigs, which is like a Lego toy list. Gadget Gecko, tech gadgets, like any type of, for you, any type of Amazon competitor would be good, or a local, like a one guy product. Etsy, go to Etsy and find some people that you could like who have their own tech or tech ancillary products. Like they don't make cameras, right? Tech, but they make camera holders. Great fit for you. For gaming channels, food would be restaurant channels. Awesome for you. Or restaurants. Let's say there's a local restaurant in the area and you have a gaming channel and you go, hey, I'd love to do a sponsorship with you. And they say, well, how does that work? You talk about Minecraft. You say, no, I play video games all the time. And I can talk about, you know, like, hey, and by the way, what keeps me fueled, right, is nachos from ABC Restaurant Company. I love ordering nachos from Grubhub. They pick it up, and you know, that's how you create the synergy. If that restaurant, okay, if that restaurant wanted to create their own video, they would have to hire, oops, I'm like messing this whole thing up. They would have to hire their own videographer. They would have to hire their own like scripter, like who's going to script it? Probably the videographer is going to charge more for that. Then they need to pay an editor. And then they got to get their whole restaurant like on point. And then at the end of the day, all they have is a self-produced, self-glorifying commercial. And what would you rather do? Would you rather go and tell someone how great you are? Or would you rather have someone else telling everyone how great you are? Okay. When you can recognize this truth for that restaurant or that real estate agent or for that firm or for that local business, that bail bondsman or that, I'm thinking of local businesses here. Clothing or secondhand store, anybody's channel. Go to a secondhand store, like a real cheeky secondhand store, and wear their clothes. Be like, hey, you know, give me $100 in clothes every month. I give you a shout out in one video a month or 2 videos a month, plus 3 Instagram posts or whatever the case might be. And you could do that for $500, $1,000. It would cost them $5,000, $10,000 to get that done. Okay. So when you can go into a brand or a company and then talk about like how expensive their production costs are and how much better you can do it for, then, you know, they're going to be more apt to work with you. So this is a shot of my wife and I in one of the biggest brand deals that we ever did. What you're looking at is a $100,000 brand deal. And the company came to me after I did a conference, a workshop for them. And they said, they said, hey, we'd like to do something, but we don't know what, right? Which goes back to my point that brands don't know what to do. Okay. And so we said, look, we'll create a whole show for you. What you're looking at, folks, is me in my 2-car garage in California. That's what you're looking at. That's me in my garage, my 2-car garage. This white wall with the picture on it is 2x4s with some framing on it. I built this. So if you move this out of the way, like 5 feet behind it is just my garage door. But you can't have a garage door, right? It doesn't look real. This blue wall, it's the wall to the house, and we painted it blue. We bought all this furniture at IKEA. This little carpet here, we didn't carpet the whole thing. We got a carpet just big enough for the camera. You know what I mean? Like, when you move outside the cameras and stuff, what you see are buckets of paint, tires. You know, we didn't keep our cars in the garage, but we did repurpose our garage to make this show. Now, for the company to do this would have cost them millions. We were able to do it for $100,000. And, you know, truth be told, it's a pretty wealthy company. So maybe not the companies y'all are going to work with right now, but I want to just put it in your minds here that this is entirely possible and you can start doing this right away. Okay. So keep those things in mind. And I'm going to show you now my 3-step process. Okay. So now you know you can do this, right? You know you can do this. You know that the person you're going to talk to doesn't really know how to do it. And they need you to navigate them through the process. And knowing that, you can really direct that conversation anywhere you want them to go. Now, the caveat is this, and I hate that we have to say this, and maybe I don't. The caveat is it's always with the utmost integrity. It's always with the utmost integrity. You know, there's never an opportunity where I'm going to say, oh, and take advantage of them, right? So it's always guiding them through in a way that you think will work best for them. Doesn't mean it's always going to work great for them. Sometimes sponsors cancel. But, you know, you'll find that most of the time when sponsors cancel, it's because they didn't help promote the show. We'll get to that in a second. Let's talk about it. Now you know that like the 3 things. Brands don't know what they're doing. You're in control. And you can structure it any way you want. Let's go into the 3-step method for actually getting these brand deals in place. Now, the first thing that you're going to do is not actually to start prospecting brands. That's not even the first thing you're going to do. The first thing that you're going to do is you're going to create a package. Okay. You need to create a standard offer that you can present to a brand or any other company as a starting point for consideration. Okay. There's a little typo there. It's brand or company is what it should say. You need to create a package that you can present to a brand or a company. That's a starting point for negotiation. Doesn't mean they're going to buy that plan, but at least you're walking in with a plan. The last thing you want to do is say, they say, well, Karen Carr, what does that look like? And then you go, well, you know, I'll come in and get a needs analysis and we'll talk about what you want to do. And we'll kind of put something together from there. You know, that's kind of like the business owner's answer. Where I would like you to be is you say, well, we've created a package that has worked well for our sponsors in the past, right? Your affiliate sponsors, your fake sponsors. And I'd like to show you that, but we're very flexible. This is the wonderful thing about YouTube versus TV versus magazine advertising and the different types of magazine advertising out there is that we can get really creative with you. So what I'd like to do is kind of show you my package and then take it from there. So maybe don't say show you my package. Maybe that's the wrong phraseology, but I think you guys get what I'm saying. So let's take a look at an example of what a live streaming sponsorship package might look like. Again, keeping in mind you're in control. So you can really, you know, play with this and get it to go any way that you want to go. So for example, you could tell them, hey, we're going to do 5 live shows, and each live show will feature a 30-second commercial of your business. You can have the sponsor's logo in the show. By the way, if you guys see the typo, tell it to me in the chat room. We might do because I'm a spelling nut, but I don't make the slides. I have a team, and there's a wonderful team. If you guys find the typo, tell me what it is in the comment section. We'll see who gets it. Sponsor's logo goes on the lower thirds, or it's placed somewhere throughout the show. Like I have a screen behind me. Maybe it goes on the screen, whatever the case might be. Thumbnail creation, guys, don't forget about thumbnail creation, right? Like it's an extra place to charge. You don't need thumbnails on Facebook Lives, I think, so much, and it's kind of a waste of time. But if it's on YouTube, thumbnails are essential. So you could even add that in as a bonus, right? Like, and as a bonus, if you sign today, we'll make 5 thumbnails with your logo on it. And then this is my favorite thing, is incorporate your other social media. I feel like this is where a lot of people drop the ball, is that you could be adding in. Plus, we'll email our list with a straight promotional email from, for your product at once a month. Now, what if you only have a 300-person email list? Well, then email it to the 300-person email list. What if you only have 25 people? Well, then email it to the 25. Okay. Well, what if you don't have an email list? Well, start it today, because they're probably going to ask you how many people are on your email list. And if they do, answer them. If there you found it, Gossip, there's 2 of them actually. But what I would say to them is, plus we'll email you out. And if they ask, you say, well, the email list is really small right now. That's why it's a bonus, right? LCPM, you nailed it. Great job. Good eyeball. I love it. And that's where we go. And of course there's always going to be haters in the group, but here's the thing. That's all right, dude. Hate all you want. We're the ones streaming with paid deals and all sorts of wonderful stuff all throughout the week. Carlos, let's make sure that we are not giving the haters any type of stance on our show. If you could just be careful of that. Okay, so let's keep moving on here. Let's talk about packages. What's key is that the package that you create is equaling money. Okay? The package that you create is equaling money. And that's where you want, I got to put that money one out. You want to be in a place where you're always making money with your packages. You do not want to be in a place where you're unable to profit, or you're like going nuts, because you're going to get into this place where you're sort of like resenting the brand deal. And you got to watch out for that. Okay. You got to watch out for that. So let's take a look at another sponsorship package that has been really effective in the past. And this is going to be more of like a YouTube specific type of package. And I think this is the one that's really like made me a lot of money. So this is more of a pre-recorded package. So here's what it is. 5 videos. Hello, Brent. I'm going to make you 5 videos. They're going to be 7 minutes long. It's a 50-word title, a 300-word description, 2 sponsored links, 25 tags, and 1 thumbnail, all delivered in 30 days. Okay? So, what do you notice about every one of these items? What do you notice about every one of these items here? Tell me if you can guess the thing that's in common between them all. I want to say thank you to Chris Strub for the $4.99 USD super chat donation. Really appreciate that. Always nice. Yes, Heather Michelle nailed it. Love it, Heather Michelle. Big shout out to Heather Michelle. They are quantified. Yeah, El Economista YouTuber. Good to see you, my friend. It's been a long time. Yes, 100%. They are specific. They are quantified. Goli Ebola. Dude, my gaming channels are on fire today. Great to see you guys here today. They are they're numerical. Okay, they're numerical in nature, and what that means is that there's a number attached to them. And when there's a number attached to them, it means that it's a clear deliverable, right? So it's like 5 videos. So it's done. Yeah, dude, Brock, so good. I love streaming with you guys, right? They're all numerical. So the job is done when the job is done, which means that the client can't really come back to you and say, oh, well, you didn't do this, you didn't do that. It's like, no, it's all there. It's all there. And that's the thing I think is key with a package, is that it's all, everything has a number associated to it. So remember when Michelle is saying, that's funny. I am a gamer on YouTube, but I am an accountant in real life. I know my numbers. I love it. That's awesome. So whatever your package is, folks, remember to make it numerical so that at the end of the day, you can like deliver something clear to the client. And when you're like pitching them, when you're sharing with them what you want to do, when you're sharing with them what you're going to do, they can see that it's meaningful, that it's not just some like pie in the sky thing, right? So I think that is really, really important as you create your packages, that you're staying really, really numerical. Okay, let's move on to step 2, and then we're going to go to your questions. Step 2 is pursue relevant brands. I can't stress this enough. You have to take your offer to the right people, and you can't just guess. You need to spend time up front now sort of making a list of what those relevant brands might be. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to create a list of brands or companies that are a good fit for you and that can reasonably work for you. Okay. Great question, Goalie. That is a question I want to come back to. We're going to really close with how to charge. Okay. So these are all really, really positive things. I want you to create a list of brands, and I want you to do sort of like 3 different categories. So get out like a Microsoft Excel spreadsheet maybe, and think about, these 3 things. Number 1, get it out of the way. The biggest and the best companies that you want to work with, the dream companies, GoPro, Mattel, right? Johnson & Johnson, and all these different companies. The companies that I'm telling you will not answer your emails. Here's the thing. Get it out of your system. Okay, open up an Excel sheet or a Google sheet. And then, on the 3rd line or the 3rd column, dream brands. Just put them down there. Get them out of your way. The second thing I want you to do is look at that niche group, right? That really good group. And I want you to label it. I mean, maybe it's like under 5 million or something to that effect. And then that 3rd company, or that first one really, is the companies you don't want to work with, like smaller companies. Was there, Chris, you found a 3rd one. You found a 3rd spelling check. Good. That's awesome. We're having a good time here. So, and here's the thing. The companies you don't want to work with are probably going to be the first ones to say yes, but I want you to have that first category should be people that will most likely say yes. Okay. That second company, that second column should be companies that are going to be harder to get, but they're in that sweet spot. And then that 3rd group should be like pie in the sky. It's going to be 10 years before they even answer your email. Okay. Those are the 3 categories of companies that I want you to be looking at. But once you have category of company, then how do you find the actual companies? Okay. So here's sort of an idea. Look at the software and the tools that you're already using. This is an absolutely key point, is look at the softwares and tools that you're already using now. Now, that includes things like frequently visited locations. If you are going to the same bar, to the same restaurant, to the same store, then like storefront, if you go to a gaming hall, if you go to a chamber of commerce, if you are a member of an Elks Lodge, if you are in BNI, if you are in different meetup groups or in similar spaces, think about those things. It goes back to the gamer analogy where you could be promoting a restaurant's appetizers as opposed to like only trying to find gaming channels to work with. It's the same with tech channels, right? Like if you got a tech channel, your motivation is kind of like, I got to work with tech companies, but really you could be working with any company that you use in your tech life. So Carlos is asking, Zepeda Media is asking a great question. He's saying, what softwares or tools are you currently using? I'd love to hear from you guys in the comment section below, because this is how I started the very first sponsorship deal I got. Went like this. Bars and stores are definitely, Lily Tree is saying, like, I remember things. Where I live, everything's open with a mask. So we don't really have the closures that some places do have. But even more reason, guys, go after struggling businesses, especially restaurants. Talk about Grubhub. Talk about delivery, Uber Eats, right? But going back to my example of a tech channel, then you think, oh, it's only those things that are related to tech. No, it's all of your hobbies and passions sort of qualify. Now, if you're a business owner, if you got a business, real estate business, or a local business, your company can sponsor it, or your broker can sponsor it, or even partnership. Like if you're a real estate agent, find a mortgage company that you promote and increase your commission for doing it. Or, I would prefer that your commission stays the same, but then they pay an upfront fee to have their names sort of shouted out. So Heather Michelle, this is perfect. Mizuno Shoes. I would contact Mizuno Shoes and begin the conversation. It's going to take a while because they're bigger. Talk to them. Talk to their competitors. Be willing to switch shoes if you need to get the sponsor. Okay. Now, similarly, you could have affiliate links from Amazon sponsor those things. We've got Heather Michelle saying, I use Camtasia. I am a Camtasia affiliate and I sell Camtasia all the time. So yeah, these are great examples. Local stores. Anybody advertising in the buy one, get one free magazine, contact them. Anyone advertising on television, contact them. Put them in that middle list. So for example, if you go to the gym in the morning, spend one day a week watching the news in the morning at the gym on the treadmill or something, and make a note of who sponsors the morning traffic jam, who sponsors the commercials in between, right? Because these are all usually, this is local news, by the way, not CNN, like local news, right? Like your local news affiliate. See who sponsors those. Watch some daytime TV. Even listen to, believe it or not, AM radio, which I know can be kind of annoying, but have it on just to get a list of some of these sponsors, because what they're I used to work in radio. What they pay for radio, you can give them so much more value. Okay. Really? Yeah. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Says, what is the title of the people that you're trying to contact? Great question. So you're trying to get a hold of a marketing director. Okay, you guys know do you guys know how a corporation breaks down? C-levels, directors, managers. Okay, so you're trying to get to directors. You're trying to get like a marketing director or like a PR director. Okay, but you're probably not going to get there right off the bat. Okay, a good thing to do is if you're trying to get a hold of the PR director at Mizuno Shoes, is Google PR director at Mizuno Shoes. Also, LinkedIn. I meet a lot of potential sponsors on LinkedIn by doing that exact same thing. Okay. But what you could also do, I've got a sponsorship deal in the works right now for a certain beauty product that I use. I know I'm revealing so much here, but I do use them to look great on camera. But I reached out to them through their social media, and I recommend that you do this, right? When I reached out to them on social media, I told them why I was reaching out, and they referred me to their PR director, but it was the social media manager that I spoke to, right? So the social media manager was like, hey, we'd love to talk to you more, right? And I got the director's number. Okay, so think about those things as you're pursuing these relevant brands. Think about who you could be talking to. All right, so Justin is saying, All right, 30-day reviews, who I know is interesting, says, Owen, do you think you can get a sponsor for a new live stream? Yes, I do, 100%. Let me actually tell you guys a quick story about a good friend of mine, actually my mentor named Daryl Eves. Now, Daryl Eves has a little bit of a reputation already, if you guys are familiar with who he is. He's created a new series for YouTube, and only a few videos have come out. But before a single video came out, he already had a sponsor for the entire series. So what he did was he made a whole series of videos where he's traveling around the country and doing interviews with big YouTube personalities. Well, he got someone to sponsor that whole thing before a single one came out. So I actually firmly believe, Justin, that a new show with no track record is easier to get brand deals. Now, you're going to get smaller brand deals. That's important too. They're going to be, because it's unproven and you're small, as you know, compared to, you know, Peter McKinnon or a 5 million subscriber channel. But that's okay because it breaks the ice. You know, what's going to happen is their competitors are going to see like what they're doing, and there's going to be a jealousy happening. And they may reach out to you and steal you away. In fact, if you can get two brands fighting over you, which has recently happened for me, that's a good place to be. Zugo Magoo, cool name, says, what sponsors should I go for, as I am a YouTuber that covers natural disasters as they happen? I would absolutely be going after NGOs, charities, and government organizations like FEMA and FEMA affiliates. I would absolutely be going for places like the Sierra Club. Now, again, these might be too large, but put them in that third category and find their competitors and put them in the second category. Okay. Now, another thing is like, how about go to the web and find some first aid preparedness stuff, right? Find people that have like great emergency kits. There's a company called Thrive that sells dehydrated food dehydrators. Find a food dehydrator company. You know, no one's talking about them, you know, and find multiple food dehydrators. Okay. And reach out to them. So anybody and like with natural disasters, you have a lot of local companies. I think like anyone that works in like field and forestry or fire prevention, man, like they got government money. So it's going to be harder to get, but once you get it, it never goes away. You know, try to find, like, start networking with the city, the mayor. Guys, politicians are great, by the way. Like I've always, every time there's campaign season around, not so much now because I'm in sort of a new space now, but when I was in straight advertising back in the day, I would always go after politicians because it's other people's money to them, right? And so they pay for exposure, okay? So just some things to think about there. Chris Strub is saying, would you consider having multiple sponsors for one product? No, I would not. I would look for, you know, for example, I am an ambassador for Restream live streaming software. And you guys can get a free trial of Restream over at owenvideo.com/Restream. I would not work with another live streaming company. And that's the advantage to my client. That being said, there can be a premium put in place for what we call exclusivity, where you say, look, if you want to be the only live streaming person on my channel, then it's 15% more or 20% more. But I don't recommend that in the beginning. If you don't have any sponsors, I would add exclusivity for 1 year as a bonus when you sign today, right? There's things you put in the package, guys, and then there's things that you add as bonuses that get them to sign today, if you will. And that might sound, you know, a little salesy. I promise you urgency in the sale will be very, very effective for you. And the trick is about like not sounding sleazy. And that's something we could talk about in a future episode. But yeah, I would only have one sponsor per product for now. And then when you have, and maybe it's 6 months exclusivity. That way, when another company starts to fight over you, you have the out. You say, look, my contract with this company is up in 3 months and I'm ready to go with you. We can even start planning it now, that sort of thing. So yeah, you're just gonna be ugly. It's an ugly situation. Even if you don't promise exclusivity, it's still, they get their feelings hurt. It can be a thing. So Lily Tree is saying Owen's guy liner tutorial is coming. Close. I take good care of my skin as best I can. In fact, if you guys notice, I'm a little thinner than I was last year. I switched to a plant-based diet, believe it or a plant-based sort of lifestyle, and lost a ton of weight. And also my skin's looking just fresh and new, and it's kind of fun. Charlotte Ann Moore is saying, so for a startup, maybe a strategy is to offer a free introductory package, converting to paid after a time frame. I don't believe in this, okay? I don't believe in free introductory packages because it conditions them for free. What I would do is just like way overvalue. I would show them, for example, like 2 packages, like the cheap package and the expensive package, and then give them the expensive package for the cheap price, right? And Charlotte, knowing a little bit about what you do and assuming it's the same thing that it was before, I see you as sort of someone with a lot of potential to get sponsors, and if you could do, 4 shows a month, and 3 of those shows are sponsored by local companies, like even client brands. Like what if Charlotte, like you, because I believe you take clients. What if you were to sell a client and then say as part of the deal, right? I'll give your company a 30-second commercial on my weekly live stream, right? And so now you've sort of added that into the client price, right? And kept them as a client longer, while still building this sponsorship package that you could expand upon later. So I never give anything for free, but I will give something like, it's never a free package. You can always bonus them stuff, but there has to be money changing hands. Otherwise, you're working for free. You're going to resent them, and they're conditioned for free. They're going to love it or hate it, but they're not going to want to pay next time. Okay. What sponsors should I go for if I don't do gaming tutorials? How can I attract sponsors and what sponsors to approach? So we talked about this a little bit, but I'll go back into it, and I'm glad that you're here. And I'm not sure, I don't know how to remember. Na Clasher Yit. I think it's YouTube, but NA, good to have you here. Or Not a Clasher. I'm not sure. I love it though. I'd start with affiliate links. Okay. It's harder without a face. Okay, but not impossible. It all comes down to not how many views the video gets, not how many subscribers you have, but the cost of reaching people to the advertiser, to the sponsor, right? Let's say that your video is only going to get 300 views. So you think, oh, I'm not going to get any sponsors. But how much would it cost that brand to get 300 views? Well, I'll tell you, on Facebook ads, probably $600, right? If you're counting a 25, 30-second view and not a 6-second view, it's probably going to cost $2 to $3 a view. So when you know that you can't get 300 views, I can get it right now by uploading a video, but you can't get it on your own, right? That's the trick. That's the thing. Okay. Now, if you do one video a week for them, that's going to be 1,200 views, right? So what I would do is start with affiliates and go watch Film Riot. Maybe watch, I don't know if they still do it this way, but at least watch their videos from a couple years ago. Film Riot, they do a tutorial, and then in the middle of it, they say, and now it's time for a sponsor break. And then they have a sponsor ad, 30-second sponsor ad. Maybe it's a minute. You could do the same thing. And you could be promoting any number of things, from gaming chairs to headphones to microphones to stuff you use and stuff you don't use. Put the links in the description box, and I think that you'll do really well. I'm seeing a lot of good comments come in here, and let's see. Chris is saying what I meant was, could you say have a segment? Okay. So what Chris is asking is, can you have a segment in your show that is sponsored by Skippy Peanut Butter? Okay. Now you're talking, my man. And this is where, we sort of get into like the nitty gritty. How much time? 6 minutes left, dude, of the show. Okay. So I got to hurry up. And I'm glad we had time to get into some questions here, because I didn't think we'd take this long. But there's so much, I think, to know here. Segments are how you will make a fortune on YouTube. You will make a fortune on segments. Now, it's harder because what you're doing is you're taking one show and then dividing it into segments, and now you got to write separate segments every week or whatever. But it is worth it. And what a segment is like, they're different little themes in your show. So let's say that you open up with a rant on the state of charitable giving. Okay, so Chris is in the charity space. So let's say that you're going to open up with a rant on the state of charitable giving. You could say, this rant brought to you by ABC Company, right? So you say, guys, today I want to talk to you about the state of charitable giving in the United States today. And this rant is brought to you by ABC Company, where you can get the finest XYZ products at the lowest price available. Go to chrisstrub.com/ABC products to learn more. And now I'm going to do my rant, ladies and gentlemen. Right? And that ends the rant for today. Okay, in our next section, I want to talk about 3 things that you can do to raise money for your company, right? And then this section is brought to you by some other company. Yes, I love it. I would encourage you, Chris, to watch the local morning news. All of you guys, watch the local morning news and listen to AM Talk Radio, okay? This is the model. It started on talk radio. Podcasting started on AM radio. But podcasting works a little bit differently. The way that they have like traffic sponsors, or the way that they'll have like an interview segment that's sponsored by a company, that's brilliant. I sold radio for a long time. And that's the way we did it. So yes, I love that idea, Chris. Very, very good thinking. So El Economisto YouTuber says, I'm a small YouTuber, but the only financial education YouTuber in the DR. How could I leverage that for brand deal negotiations? You just did. First of all, I want you guys to get rid of the word small, okay? Because small is your definition and you're in the space. So you don't qualify, right? Like you swim in the water, but this company out here that you're going to go to, they don't know what that means. They don't know the difference between small and big and medium. So don't tell them that you're small. I'm a YouTuber. Now, even for you, El Economista, I would say I am the only financial education YouTuber in the DR, Spanish-based program. And when you advertise on my channel, when you partner with me, a sponsor with me, we are reaching the most unique, most solid audience in the DR, right? And so you get this exclusivity with me that you're tapping into a brand new marketplace. Think about it like this. Think about it like you're Elon Musk and you've got this company called PayPal that you want to build. I think you actually bought PayPal. Let's just go with Tesla. You've got this company called Tesla, but you got to convince your investors to invest in it. Are you going to go up and be like, well, we're a small car company, based out of California? Or are you going to say Tesla is going to change the world? And right now, nobody knows about us. So you're going to get hooked up with us at a time where we're at 0 and we are going to fly. It is going to be exponential growth for the next couple of years. Okay. That's sort of the place that I want to have you in. Okay. So let me do this. Let's go. Let me finish this. We can go to your questions because I do want to go to your questions. We talked about step 2 is pursue relevant brands. What is, and by the way, here's what that might look like, by the way, is to create a contact list in an Excel sheet where you're just kind of like gathering names and emails and that sort of thing, and just making sure that you're like key, because you want to like, hey, I talked to them, they didn't say anything, and once you have that list of relevant brands, then what you want to do is actually email them. Now, I have an email for you guys that you're welcome to steal. And you can just go to owenvideo.com/brand email and get my email template. So this is a phenomenal template. This is what I use. In fact, one of my good friends used this template to close a $90,000 brand deal this year. Okay. And go get this right now, because this, I think, will take you a long way. But then step 3, okay, and this is where we're going to land the plane today. Step 3 is learn how to negotiate. Okay, really important to understand that just because you gave a price doesn't mean that the deal is done. You need to be in a place where you are learning how to negotiate from here. So once you offer sort of the price and the packaging, you want to be able to stand back and listen to them on what may or may not work for them. Now, here's a couple of tips on negotiating. Number 1 is have your lowest offer and know your worth. So for me, I don't go below $500, period. $500 a video is like my baseline. And it's always been 500. I know YouTubers that are way bigger than me also getting 500. And so that's something to think about, is I get a pretty high premium for what I'm talking about. Practice saying no thank you without any emotion. It is very hard to go like offer someone a deal and they don't maybe laugh, maybe they scoff, or maybe they're rude to you. You know, this is how corporate America acts. But it's because they're awkward, not you. So I want you to actually practice saying no in the mirror. I do. I want you to look at yourself and go, like, practice hearing something you don't like. And this is what I do. I always have kind of like my negotiating face on, you know, because chances are it's going to be on a Zoom call, right? And you're going to be listening to them and you're like, well, we've decided not to take you up on your offer, or we've decided to give you $100 instead of $1,000, right? It's offensive. So I want you to be able to go, but then I want you to practice saying no without having any emotion. Like, well, that's stupid, you freaking blobbity blah blah. I think I have a, you know, like a you. It's not working. I had a sound effect ready for you. It's not working. Okay. So here's what you say. I want you to kind of nod your head. Well, I really appreciate you guys considering the offer. There it is. The sound effect just came on. See, I really appreciate the offer. I appreciate your consideration. I really do. Thanks so much. I can't at this time move forward at that price, but would love for us to explore some other options. Okay. I'm hearing some of you guys say that the link is not working. Carlos, if you could just kind of fix that, that would be great. Just give them the full link in the chat area if that's right. So practice saying no, and don't ever say no. You know, it's like, thank you, but something like that. Okay. And then finally, have your own contract ready. Be in a place where you can just give them the contract and they can sign it via DocuSign or something like that. Okay. So here's the thing I see a lot is like, you know, YouTubers aren't ready. Creators aren't ready to accept a yes. They say, they kind of give you the pitch and then they just kind of leave it, as opposed to, you know, sending over the contract for the company to just sign, and not physical and fax, right? But like a DocuSign or a digital signature, have it ready to go. We have a template document. So it's like with the package that I showed you here, that's our package. So if someone says yes to that, we just send them the contract. I'll upgrade them later, right? I'll upsell them later, right? Because you go, oh man, they said yes. Maybe I could have sold them more. You probably could have. Next time you will. You know what I mean? But get the deal before wrecking the deal. Okay. And that's our time today, guys. I'd love to answer a few questions. I'm sorry I can't stay longer. I really would love to stay longer. And let's see if we have some questions here that we can jump into. 30-day reviews is saying, does adjacent brands work as well? Like clothing for me when I'm doing male grooming products? Yes, yes, yes. This is where you need to be thinking, right? Is that because 30-day reviews is in male grooming, facial products. But men that care about those things might also wear ties or nice shoes, right? And you should be looking for those companies as well. So ancillary companies, I think, is actually a better fit for most of you guys. So El Economista YouTuber is saying, oops, wrong one. Where can we find a contract template? I have one in that presentation. So when you go get my brand deal script, where there's also contract templates in there. But keep in mind, a contract template, guys, is a Google document with a blank underline that you upload into DocuSign, and you just send it to them. So it's not like you might be thinking about like this pink and yellow carbon copy and all this official stuff. That is not how the world works anymore. That is way like 1990s. Like, just think in terms of getting them to sign something, and most of the time the company is going to want to have they're going to have their own document. They're going to have like what's called an addendum, right? So they might even say, send over your contract, but then we'll write it up. That's fine. That's absolutely fine, right? Because they have lawyers and stuff like this. Let them do it, and they might even throw in some things like, oh, we own the rights to be sure to review it. But whatever, like, my advice to you for the most part is give them what they want to get the brand deal, right now. And then once you get brand deals every so often, then you can, you learn from your mistakes, I think is kind of what I'm going to say. Okay. Last question from Brad Emanuel is saying, is there an audience size minimum before one should even consider approaching sponsors? No. Go after brands right now. And your goal is this. It's not on who you are today. It's who you are going to be. Keep in mind, company, we've been at this level for quite some time and we're ready to explode. What we're looking for are sponsors that can get us there. So right now, I'm offering you this package at this price, but in a year from now, this is going to triple, right? Because we are ready to explode, that sort of thing. And you're right, Gully Alola, I did forget to kind of talk about pricing. Okay, so how do you price these packages? Number one, $500 a video. Start there, period. If you guys go to my channel and watch my brand deal videos, you'll see that it's always 500 minimum. Now, in this 5 video package, that's $2,500. Right? Remember that package I showed you? $2,500. Are you with me? So I want you to start at $500 a video. Okay. But you can change that. You can play with that if you're more comfortable at $100 a video, which is fine. Some of you guys are small enough to where that makes sense. $100 a video makes sense. So the 5 video package would be $500 total dollars. And you might think, well, Owen gets $2,500. Yeah, but I'm a salesman. I have a track record, right? 30-day reviews is saying, ouch, I'm doing, something for a lower price. So move it to 500, but don't kick yourself, man. Like, if you're getting that money, then get the money. Okay. When you get bored with that money, increase your prices. If people say yes to you right away, you're charging too little. Okay. The sales should be a little bit of a fight. Okay. Not like a fight, but like, the customer should go, okay. All right. Captain Koala is saying, how would you phrase an affiliate link? For example, I am a humble Dundle affiliate partner. No, I don't say anything. Just say, hey, if you want to grab this product, click on the link in my description box below. You're going to love it. I love it. You'll love it. We're going to love it together. There's no legal requirement for you. And similarly, it's only going to slow things down for you, right? Like, nobody cares at the end of the day. Earlier in the show, I mentioned sort of a negative comment. And I did that because it was on the screen. But I had somebody else say, hey, if you didn't mention it, I never would have thought of it. And that's right. Remember that. Like, you don't have any legal requirement to say if it's an affiliate link or a sponsor. You do need to say sponsored by, or like, check out my sponsors, whatever, like that. But you don't need to like over-inform the audience, right? Just let them know, hey, I love this product. There's a link down in the description box below, and click it and go buy it. As easy as that. Don't overcomplicate it. Do your thing. Guys, it's a pleasure to be with you every single week. Remember, we are live every single Monday at 12 noon PST. That's 3 p.m. if you're on the East Coast. And this is Stream Like You Mean It, a show for live streamers and entrepreneurs like you to help you create more engaging, more effective live stream shows. If you guys have more questions, leave them in the comment section. Tag me on Facebook. I'll come up and I'll answer them. It's good to be with you guys. I'll see you next week. Bye.